Hello everybody, it's your favorite sheep here, Vertical coming at you with another video. So, this is the showcase for the Horror's Flight Unique that GGG dropped in 0.5. This is the over 400% increased culling strike threshold build built on a monk, a martial artist specifically. You don't need to build it on a monk, but I think it makes it fun and it's a lot more flavorful with some other shenanigans going on. But before we get into the build, I have a little map here. I'm not going to spend too long in here. I did clear out a little bit of it beforehand, but it doesn't matter. I didn't get too far into it. This is essentially what it looks like when you don't need to kill anything except rares in the map. Oh yeah, flicker warning. Rare, just kill him, go back to cold. That. Go back. Give me that. Junk that. Do. Where are all my enemies at? Oh, a little boss too. Cool. Perfect. I show off the single target. The non-existent single target. 1, 2, 3. Oh, look at that guy. Look at him go. Where's my belt? I need those. Alright, we're rolling assault. 1, 2, 3! One, two. What? Alright. So that was the little showcase of the build. We'll go into what the build actually is to begin with, and then I'll go into some more nittier things. So, as I said at the start of the video, we have over 400% increased culling strike threshold. That can only be achieved with the new uniques that GGG just dropped in 0.5. Horror's Flight, Engraved Bracers. This drops from, I believe, Tangmazu. I'm not 100% sure though. I think the flavor that Mark said was that they created this unique because they were like, what would it be like if you were Tangmazu? That's like the fantasy. So they gave us Fear Incarnate on culling. So this increases your culling strike threshold by 10% and lasts for 10 seconds. You can have up to a maximum of 20 Fear Incarnate, which means you can have 200% increased culling strike threshold. Just flat right there. 200%. Now, granted, that by itself is enough to cull white mobs. So if you just want to play this and then, you know, maybe kill some magic monsters here and there, then you can just use these gloves and that'll be that. I, however, wanted to cull everything except rare monsters, because you cannot cull rare monsters because they don't have enough threshold for it. So I said, okay, what we would need to hit 400% in order to cull magic monsters. So I got 200% from Horror's Flight, which is the new unique, and we have Mirror Uxor, which is an old unique that has 100% increased culling strike threshold, but you can corrupt it up to 120% increased culling strike threshold, which is the only way you're able to achieve this, by the way. So we have 200 here, 120 here. They're up to 320%. So where do we get the other ones from? Well, Culling Strike 2 has increased Culling Strike threshold on for 20 seconds when you cull with a supported skill. Alright, so we have another 20% there. Remember, we were at 320, so we're at 340, so we need another 60%. So now we're like, okay, now where do we go? We go to the tree. There's 20% here. There's 40% here, technically speaking. So you could come all the way down here and get all of those. I just decided to anoint on Bounty Hunter, get 25%. And then the final portion I'm getting from a Heart of the Well Diamond. It is 22% increased Culling Strike threshold. Now, in theory, I think with all of these combined, you can get 420 increase or 425 increase, but you don't need any more than 400 because once you hit 400 you start culling magic monsters, and then that's that. At that point you don't need anything else. My tree here is not the actual tree that I'm going for. I was just testing some shenanigans and whatnot on the way, so don't pay attention to that. But that is how you get 400% increase. You need Horse Flight, you need Amir's Uxor, you need to run Culling Strike 2 inside of the skill that you're using to cull. You need some increase from the tree, either from Hunting Companion or Bounty Hunter and the nodes leading up to it, or a Heart of the Well Diamond. But yeah, those two uniques get you 300, you need the extra 100 from somewhere else. So that's the function of the build, and then that's for clear. And then my single target, I'm just doing a standard Mantra of Destruction with Aelith's Chimes on there for the power charges, and then just blowing Falling Thunder all over the boss's face. I'm actually using the new quarterstaff. It's not as good as like a base quarterstaff, but the guard on here is really fun. Is really nice to have, because that's obviously just damage you don't take. Alright, so like I said, that's how the build functions. Those are the 2 points of it. The clear side with the Culling Strike, and then the single target with Falling Thunder and Mantra. So I guess I'll go into my passive tree now. So if I pull this up, this is like kind of like a preliminary idea of where I want to go. This obviously I don't have the voices. I don't have more jewel sockets for things like an Adorned, if I even need it. I don't have Megalomaniac. Basically, I don't have all my jewels. And there's some other fine-tuning points and maybe some pathing choices I could make differently, but it's fine. Oh, so right off the bat, let me explain to you why we go on the right side of this and not the left side. So, killing Palm with Hollow Palm, you have a more attack speed multiplier, and this skill already, I believe has 75% of your base attack speed. So with the more multiplier from Hollow Palm and the 75% base attack speed, you're getting really close to that 0.25 second kind of threshold that you shouldn't pass. At least for a skill like this where it has an animation. So once you start getting closer and closer to that, even like 0.26, the animation stops working. And you kind of start chugging. Actually, I wonder if I can demonstrate this. Let me pull up let me get like a Rapid Assault. I got Rapid Attacks 3. Yeah, damage doesn't matter here, by the way, so you can use Rapid Attacks 3 if you're a mad lad. Put that on. What's this at? 0.34 seconds? Let me go back into the map. See if we got demo this real quick. I don't even know where enemies are anymore. Oh yeah, cool. I'll just hit my bells. Oh, come on, give me. We're at 0.30. It's cool, but things start to break a little bit.
Dogs.
Delete those real quick. Okay. These real quick. Probably don't have too many more enemies left. 150, probably all over here. Just run over and kill them real quick. By the way, this is a 10-second cooldown, so you need to keep it going. Which isn't a problem when you're going through a map initially, but it's a problem when you're, yeah, it's like that. Targeting starts to mess up a little bit when you get too fast. Animations get a little wonky there. Yeah, you can probably safely. I'm gonna say this is at 0.3 right now. You can probably safely stay at this, but the closer you start to get at 0.25, 0.26, is when everything starts to break down. So we just don't go near it. We'll say, you know, 0.34 is what I'm at right now. I think without my without the rapid attacks gem, I'm at like 0.43. So somewhere around that area is probably fine. You just really don't need all that nonsense. So I'll probably go like this. And leave it there. But yeah, back to the tree. So that's why we go on the right side. We just kind of, and we don't need to worry about mana because the soul, I think it's what, soul drain just regenerates your mana. So I could actually probably take this off and not really care, but I'm more so doing that for Whirling Assault, because Whirling Assault's it costs a lot of mana. So I just pick up some generic, just the Evasion ES here, Evasion ES wheel here. I go up and pick up the power charges for Falling Thunder, because Falling Thunder scales massively off of power charges used. So I go up, grab Hollow Palm, weapon set 1, or weapon set 2 in some power charges. Weapon set 1's just some random other things I put in there. More lightning damage for that. I grab the quarterstaff tree here just for some extra why nots. I like this little wheel here. It's a deflection rating, fast start of energy shield. And then it allows you to get this, which is Hollow Keeper, which is a little secret node between the two. It reduces the effect of curses on you, which is really, really nice. Reduced curse effect is so good because you get like a temporal that hits you, and instead of like a 30% slow or something, it's like 15. It's so good. There's another node up here. Get another 25%. You get a 75%. So yeah, I'd probably do that, so you don't have to worry about curses. But I haven't IMPOB'd it yet, obviously. So this is the quarterstaff skill that you kind of need if you're using power charges. More elemental damage, more generic life and mana sustain, because that's really the only thing we need to worry about. I went hard into deflection, so I got more evasion, more deflection, more evasion from here. Slow potency for when I'm culling around, more deflection. Come all the way down, you get the idea, more deflection. All the way into here to get Hunting Companion. So, do I need to go all the way around here? No. Can I come through here? Yes. Am I going to? Probably not. The nodes on the outside of the tree are generally better than the ones on the inside of the tree. She kind of like specified they want it to be like that, so most of our trees are going to always end up looking like this shenanigan mess of going around the outside of the tree. That's just kind of how they designed it, so is what it is. But yeah, that's the tree. Let me talk about the ascendancy. So martial artist. I kind of just went martial artist because I was like, oh, this looks fun. But in reality, this has nothing to do with how we clear. There's absolutely nothing on this ascendancy that helps us with Culling Strike. or really anything to do with our build, to be honest. The bells, yes, you can cull them, but like, you already cull all the normal monsters anyways, so like, you really don't need it. It's kind of just like for in between packs. If, you know, you take more than 10 seconds to kill a pack. But that's really the only thing. Like, the meridians don't really do anything. I mean, obviously, I have them in there for resistance purposes. I literally just threw a bunch of resistance runes in there, because why not? The combo's kind of nice, because energy charge delay, but it doesn't matter when you're culling everything, because everything just dies anyways. And this is, that was just so I didn't lose combo between weapon sets, which can be a little annoying, but it's not like the end of the world. Oh yeah, so, Way of the Stone Fist. That's kind of the one that people were expecting to be used with these uniques, but you actually don't want to use them with the unique. Because, and I have this up on POE2. So, this is the Horus Flight unique. Normally, gives you Fear Incarnate, which is, you know, cool. Fist of Stone version. It gives you Fear Overwhelming, which is completely different and a worse version of the buff. Because it gives you increased area of effect for attack skills and lasts 10 seconds. So with that, you can get up to 100% increased area of effect. But why does that matter? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing with that? It doesn't do anything for you. Yeah, I mean, you can play around and get Crushing Fear out bigger, but like, like, it doesn't really do anything. It's kind of just useless if you use this with Fist of Stone. Fist of Stone in general is kind of just more of like a defensive option, from what I've seen. Like, even with like, even if you got like plus levels all the way up to 30, 2761 sounds good, but then you have to scale chaos damage separately from everything else. Or I guess you can scale some physical damage, but like, all of it gets converted to chaos anyways. So if you want to scale the chaos damage, you'll have to invest into chaos damage. It's just, you know, it's just not great. I kind of wish it kept Fear Incarnate, or like, you know, gave you like Fear Incarnate and then more increased threshold or something like that. But it is what it is. Also, the additional chance to fire additional projectile, it's like, what? That's just kind of weird. But that just comes from dexterity. I'll probably do a whole other video on that. But anyways, TLDR of that, don't use Fists of Stone when using Horus Flight. It just doesn't work. It completely bricks it. Same thing as like going down past like 0.25, just completely bricks it. Just don't do it. So, we have covered build functionality. We covered the tree. We covered my gear. My gear's kind of just standard, just like lightning damage to attacks on my rings, just standard evasion. I do probably want some deflection rating at some point. I have some extra spirit I got from my chest piece and my amulet, so I just kind of threw some more gems on. But it's not really like the gear doesn't really matter. The only real requirements you have are use Horus Flight and use Mirror Uxor, and then for Falling Thunder, you just want like a generically okay quarterstaff, which I just bought this because I was like, oh, it looks fine. It's got 600, 405 to 670 physical damage. That's enough for Falling Thunder. But yeah, it's not really like a hard requirement. Like I said, you can play this whenever you want. I might end up doing a chunk at some point. Anyways. Alright, skill gems. So, in Killing Palm, the only required support gem that you have in here is Culling Strike 2. That is it. You don't need anything else on here. But there's some things that help you out. I do Culling Strike 2 with Charge Fusion 2 to give me charges because you are culling everything. And you can sustain charge regulation for the more defenses here, and the, I guess, more critical hit chance if you wanted to, and the increased skill speed is nice, but like it's really just for the endurance charge portion here, because you're killing everything anyways, so you're just looking for ways to not die, and 18% more defenses is a pretty good way to not die. On top of that, we're running Ghost Dance and Wind Dancer. And then I have Clarity and Vitality. I don't need Vitality in here, but I have it in here, so I have Clarity. Both Clarities in there. Ghost Dance with cooldown recovery. Yeah, that's basically the clear portion of things, and then some more defensive stuff. Oh, yeah, so my defenses, I'm at 75% evasion rating, which is pretty nice. 10% DR, PDR, which is like okay. My reses are pretty okay. Don't mind that. My chaos res is a little low, but again, most things die anyways, so it's not like I really don't need the additional. Oh, and then deflection. I said it was going harder deflection. Yeah, so my deflection rating is at 95%, which is really good. Means basically all of the damage that I take from hits is just 40%. 40% of it is prevented. Just automatically. It's really good. Except when both this fails and the evasion fails. Then you die. But we don't worry about that, because that's only a 5% chance. It's a 5% chance and then combined with a 75% chance to dodge. Like, it'll never happen. Don't worry about it. And then 46% is any way you can get this damage prevented by deflection higher is better. Okay, so then single target. Like I said, I'm just running the generic Mantra of Destruction with Aelith Chimes for the additional charges. Delayed Gratification puts Mantra of Destruction up to 20. The combo required is 20 there, and paired with Aelith Chimes, it gives you like 5 power charges or something like that. 5 or 6 power charges with Charge Profusion, so it's like even more than that. And then also the next empowered attack is 66% of damage gained as chaos, which is spicy. So essentially, when you walk up to something, if you have power charges, and basically if you have power charges, you just Falling Thunder it. If you don't have power charges, you just Whirling Assault like twice, and then you do Hand of Chiula, Mantra of Destruction, and then Falling Thunder, and it dies, more or less. I have Hand of Chiula in here for LE weakness, and Sniper's Mark. Sniper Mark, you don't really need this, but the LE weakness is nice. Paired with the Lightning Zoom or Lightning Penetration for Falling Thunder. So the reason we're running Falling Thunder over everything else, because, I mean, obviously, one, Killing Palm gives you power charges, so you can scale power charges to the moon and back. And then Falling Thunder has a little, has some text here that's kind of ridiculous. So it does first off, if you consume a power charge, even if it's just one power charge, you get 100% more damage. On top of this, you fire 3 projectiles per power charge. So if you consume one projectile, if you consume 1 power charge, you shoot 3 projectiles. If you consume 3 power charges, you shoot 9 projectiles. And that's not even the crazy part. This is the crazy part. You get 50% more damage per power charge consumed. If you consume 3 power charges, you get 100% more here and then another 150 here. So you're at 250% more damage. Now, if you scale this up to like 6, 7, 8 power charges, you get the idea. That's a lot of more damage. And obviously it converts 100% physical to lightning damage, pierces all targets. And also you have this additional quality text that gets you even more damage, by the way, in case you're wondering. This level 18 is 400% attack damage. I'm not running any plus levels, by the way. This is just straight up how it is. This is Falling Thunder. Falling Thunder's dumb. Anyways, that's my single target. Hollow Focus does not matter what you put in there. Charge staff, just for generic charge staff things. I don't even think I use charge staff half the time. I just don't need to. And then whirling assault is just to generate combo. That's it. I think that's everything. Oh, some things of note. So obviously I did the Fist of Stone thing. Before you get Aether Chimes on Monster Destruction, the single target of this build is complete dog. So have fun figuring that. I'd say like have fun figuring it out, but really what you can do is if you are struggling with single target, you can just do a you can do the same setup, but except with Falling Thunder and with power charges, you can do it with Mantra of Destruction with Gathering Storm, which is it's decent, right? It's not like amazing, but it's decent. It'll get you through until you can get any of the times, which is like, I don't know, it was like 12 div when I bought it or something like that. It's whatever. It's that. Actually, how much is it now? Just a little check. Aelith Chimes. Okay, it's only 8 div now. Not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah, that's it. Oh, and then I tried it with Cold a Week. It's bad. Don't do it. And I tried it with Lightning Orb. I think Lightning Orb would and will work if you have enough cast speed. Now, the cast time is 0.5 seconds there. I think if you can get that down lower, then it'll feel pretty good. But the reason why Killing Palm feels so much better is because it gets, like, it's baked in to hit multiple targets. So it's kind of like how it was meant to work. But yeah, that is the 400% culling strike threshold build. You run around the map, you cull normal monsters, you cull magic monsters, and when you happen upon a rare, you just Falling Thunder it dies instantly. So yeah, that's it. That is my version of it. I am going to be playing around with this some more on stream. So if you want to check me out, Vertical Dorito on Twitch. The links will be in the comments section or the description section. I'm also on Reddit. You probably see my videos there, here and there sometimes. If you like this video, check out my other ones. Although they're from 0.4, so they're not going to be relevant right now. But yeah, I'll be posting some more. I think my next video is probably going to be about Fist of Stone and kind of describing like how, like what it is, what it does, stuff like that. So if you want to stick around for that, then go ahead. Other than that, I hope you guys liked the video, and have a great day, I guess.